So I had a little thing to this mix. I'm not sure if you are familiar with the group, the classic group, the Delphonics.
Of course. We don't. If you don't know the Delphonics, you listen to
Yeah,
this
I had
podcast.
to
I don't
make
know
sure.
what you're doing, man.
I had to make sure. I knew you probably knew who it was, but
Yeah.
these are all the songs that were sampled by the Delphonics. And today, the singer of the Delphonics, William Hart, has passed away.
Sad news, man. Sad news. Uh,
Yeah, he was
yeah,
one of
man.
my favorite. He was one of my underrated favorite singers, and that was one of my underrated favorite old groups. They had a unique type of sound, and they was actually still recording music,
Hmm.
probably like 10 years ago, man. They released an album that was produced by Adrian Young, who's a very talented producer. And what's crazy about this album is it sounded like it was made back in the 60s or the 70s. So yeah, man. Sad, one of my favorites, one of the all-time greats in my opinion. And a lot of people sampled their shit. So yeah,
Yeah, no,
rest in
a lot
peace.
of classic albums, a lot of classic records were made from Delphonic samples, man. Yeah, definitely a legendary R&B group. So sad news, man.
Yeah, yeah. So figure out, it's crazy because I was going through all the artists that sampled that group.
Hmm.
I'm like, damn, I forgot. I didn't realize how much it was. I thought it was gonna be like a couple songs, but it's a lot of people that actually sampled their stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm like, damn, that's kind of dope, man.
Yeah, no, it really was, man. Yeah, RP. And yeah, if you don't know the Delphonics, man, go learn you up some R&B history because they're definitely one of the great R&B groups of our time. And yeah, sad news, but time goes on. Sad, but
Yeah,
it happens, man. So
I think it hits a little harder when I guess somebody is still active even though they're older. So
yeah.
like John Witherspoon when he passed, it's like
Hmm.
damn because he was still out here doing shows, and you didn't really see him declining as much.
Yeah.
So even though I think William Hart, I forgot how old he was, but he was obviously up there, but he was
Hmm.
still recording music. So yeah, it kind of hit a little different when they were just doing music and then pass away, rather than somebody like John Madden who been chilling over the last 10, 15, 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. William Hart was 77 years old, which I mean, ain't no spring chicken, but still, you would figure, he could, if he was active, he could go on a little more. There's some random people that you forget are still alive until you see him in something recent, like James Earl Jones, who was in
Yeah,
Coming to America 2. And he
yeah.
also returned to do the Darth Vader voice in that new Obi-Wan show. And James
Mm,
Earl Jones is like 90 years old, man.
yeah.
He's up there. And yeah,
Yeah,
whenever I hear him, he's 91 years old.
man.
So, and I heard his voice on the Obi-Wan. I'm like, there's no way that's still James Earl Jones doing that voice. I looked it
Yeah,
up in the credits, it said James Earl Jones. I was like, oh shit.
yeah.
So
It's crazy because when they were doing the Coming to America too, and they made it seem like they just I guess he can only do like one little scene. I
yeah.
guess because of his health.
Hmm.
But that kind of scared me a little bit because I'm like, damn, maybe he ain't got that
Yeah,
much time.
I don't think he stood up once in the movie. I
He
think he was
didn't.
laying down all his scenes.
Yeah, he was, and I think he
Yeah.
was only in like maybe one or two scenes.
Yeah. They killed him off pretty early.
Yeah, but yeah, man, he's still rolling so far. So
Hmm.
yeah, man, I'm surprised he even did that Darth Vader voice.
Yeah, me too. And I was reading, I think they were saying it was like some kind of combination of like some AI technology they used too.
Oh,
But
okay,
yeah, I
but
mean,
he
it
still got the
sounded
credit.
like him, man. It sounded like 1977 Darth Vader. So
Damn. So he been doing that since 1970.
yeah,
Damn, that's
the
crazy.
first Star Wars movie, man.
Damn, that is crazy.
No, it really
Legendary voice.
is one of the
Yeah.
greatest voice of our time, man. Probably the greatest voice of our time. Him and Orson Welles, and a lot of the people just had great voices, man.
Yeah,
He's one
Morgan
of the
Freeman.
last great voice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Man, great.
yeah. What can you do? Life goes on, and this podcast goes on. We are back at it. Jay Prince, let people know what they're listening to right now. We are back at it. Another action-packed episode. A lot to react to, talk about. New music coming soon. We still got Beyonce dropping this month, so everybody trying to rush their releases in real quick
Yeah.
before Beyonce take over the charts for the rest of the year, probably.
Did you see she dropped her first video on TikTok? Yeah.
I saw she joined TikTok.
She had joined TikTok I want to say a minute ago. But
Yeah.
she never posted anything. But I
No,
think
she posted her first TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
So breaking news.
I know, right? Like,
TikTok.
okay, right. Make your own app, Beyonce. What happened to all that talk, huh?
Yeah.
What happened to make our own? Now she getting on TikTok. Beyonce could make her own TikTok and it could do numbers. Why is she joining the Chinese man's app?
Yeah,
I thought we were supposed to be making our own. What happened to Tidal? Jay-Z sold his shares in Tidal. And now we just joining TikTok, J albums on Spotify. Now what happened?
Yeah,
Huh?
I don't know,
They
man.
sold. They was capping. They was trying to max out the value for their catalog until they went back to the other people.
Yeah,
I don't like that shit.
Yeah, I think it's about time. I think it's kind of shocking that they haven't made like a social media platform that's Black owned. I know they do have some, but ain't nobody gonna join that. You need more people to join it for it to be somewhat active. And I came from, we all comfortable on the current social medias we got.
Yeah.
So yeah, I remember I think it was a Black owned Twitter. And I jumped on it. It was a few years ago. I jumped on it and it looked just like Twitter, but I guess it was just Black owned, but it wasn't nobody on there.
Yep.
So it's like, might as well go back to the real Twitter.
People ain't leaving Twitter. Like, people ain't even leaving. Remember, Trump got his Twitter clone up now, finally, Truth Social.
Truth, yeah.
And yeah, like, people ain't leaving Twitter, man. Come on now, dog.
I ain't gonna lie. I was debating on seeing what was that social media app about, just to see how it looked. And
I just want to see Trump's tweets, man. Am I wrong to just admit I miss his tweets? I don't miss him as president. I don't think he should hold any kind of political power, but he was funny as hell, man. Like, I want to see his tweets again, dog. That's all I miss about him, was he was a funny ass tweeter.
Yeah, so when you go back and look at that whole era, it's kind of like, damn, that seemed like an SNL skit. Like some of the stuff he was making, where we was outraged at the time, but when you look back at it, it's like, man, he really said that. Like, we really dealt through that. It's funny because today on In the Loop, I was playing some David Culley drops of the former Houston Texans head coach. And I'm like, damn, he really said this. He really said, if we got to go 3-0 and punt it, we good. Yeah. And he said the most important thing about the football is the football. No, he didn't even say that. He said the most important thing about football is the football. So I was like, man, that sounds like an SNL skit, like a joke. Yeah. And that was real.
The past two NFL Texans coaches has felt like a joke, man, at times. From Bill O'Brien going crazy on reporters to David Culley sounding like he don't know where he is. Like, I'm happy for the Lovie Smith era. I'll just say that much.
Me too.
Like, finally, even if he shits the bed as a coach, like, at least the press conferences will seem like somebody knows what they're doing in them.
Yeah, it's a little more professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that at least. But we'll see. We'll see. Training camp coming up soon. Make sure y'all keep it tuned in to In the Loop for all your Houston Texans and NFL and sports in general thoughts, because that's a dope show. Figgy in there curating the vibe as he always does. But Let's get a little status check, man. How you been, Figgy? You know it's been a busy week as always for everybody. But how you been, man? Last we heard you had a little incident in your apartment. You good? You safe? You well? How's
Yeah,
everything
we
going,
still
man?
good, man. Life moves on.
Yeah,
So everybody moving on like it's normal. So it ain't nothing you can really do. I haven't seen any more, suspicious incidents or people walking around here or anything, but
yeah,
it's so sad because I mean, if y'all missed it last week or 2 weeks ago, since we didn't record last week, it was a shooting outside of my apartment, right in my complex, which left one male dead. So I was walking out to my car. I actually seen the shoes. I actually seen the body with the shoes and the covered up in the white sheet. So I'm like, damn. So yeah, every time I ride past, because that's like the way out. So I drive past there every time I leave the apartment. And I always look in that spot like, damn, that's like I can't believe that. That's crazy. I can't imagine what the family going through, but it's a very sad situation. And I don't think they arrested anybody or yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard anything since.
I mean, you
So
probably won't hear anything, man.
yeah,
Like that's just
I'm
how
not.
it does. They don't update
Yeah,
people.
I'm not holding my breath. That to me, that kind of shows that maybe it was a little something else involved.
Mm.
Because if it was just completely random, and I feel like they'd probably be, looking for more answers. But this probably was a little something else.
Yeah.
So yeah, so sad.
Yeah. Crazy world out there, man. Fucking, it's crazy in every major city right now. Like fucking, starting to feel like the '80s almost, dog. Like it's fucking wild, wild west out here in some places, man. So
Yeah,
everybody, be safe, take care of yourself, be aware of your surroundings. You know all that shit they taught us in school and all that bullshit. So yeah, just be careful, man.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, man. Also, I did have a little outing. I took the fam to an Astros game a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah, yeah. You was
So
rooting for Otani.
I was rooting for Otani, man. Like fuck, he's a B dog. He's the most exciting player in baseball, man. Ain't
Yeah,
nobody else hitting and pitching as well as he does.
yeah,
And but he's stuck on a shitty ass team, man. It's like LeBron on the early Cavaliers.
yeah.
You
It
know, can
might be
y'all get
worse.
him some
It
help?
might be worse than that, to be honest. Because at least he was
Yeah.
dragging. At least he dragged that Cavs team to some Eastern Conference Finals, and they was in the playoffs. But
Yeah, but I think that's more the nature of what a superstar can do in basketball versus what they can do in baseball.
yeah, that's
Like if
true.
LeBron played baseball, no matter how good he was, if his team sucks, he wasn't gonna make the postseason.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he could
Because
you
you
could do it
one
in
person can't.
basketball.
Yeah, one person can't carry the team in
Exactly.
baseball. So yeah, that's a good point. But man, it's rough, man. I wouldn't be surprised if he decide to dip.
He needs to, man. Like he's starting to talk about it now, but like, look, like the sport needs somebody like him as the face of the game, man. But they can't if his team sucks and can't even make it the postseason. So, nah,
Hmm.
I was rooting for my boy. Plus, the Astros they dominating anyway, man. So
Yeah,
I hear Landry get on the radio and fucking complain about every fucking game, like the Astros ain't like second in the whole league. So I'm like, miss me with all
yeah.
the complaints and this shit, man. They good.
Yeah, I think, man, I think Astros fans became super spoiled
Yes.
because now it's like,
The
oh
sky
shoot,
is always falling after a loss. It's like, come
yeah,
on, man.
it's like, oh man, we got six starting pitchers. That's too much.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what do we do here? It's just like it's first world problems, man.
Framber Valdez's fake hair might affect his pitching. Like, what the fuck are y'all talking about now, man? Well, like, is this the dialogue we're at with the Astros? I remember when we was losing 100 games in the season, and it looked like there was no bright side. And now we
Yeah,
got to talk about extensions being a
yeah,
possible problem. Like, it's
yeah,
Astros fans are 100% spoiled now, man. And I don't blame them. Like, some
yeah,
shit. We need something to be spoiled about in sports.
yeah, yeah. No,
'Cause-
for real. Like, look, this is a good problem to have. To sit there and talk about if the weave is too too much, it will affect the pitching. Shout out to my dude Tyler Milner, who the
Mm-hmm.
producer for the afternoon show. But yeah, he was freaking out about that, man. He felt like it was gonna throw his game off.
Yeah, he was sounding like a white Bill Cosby on that shit, man. Like, oh y'all dreadlocks and y'all hippity hop. Like, come on, man. He's a grown ass
it's
man,
it,
dog.
yeah, it's fun because it's like I don't know. I guess people feel like people with locks they just got like a couple pounds on their head or something,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like it's not that deep. The only time it do like I have all type of styles, so the only time it do affect me is when I have it up in the style, and sometimes it could be a little heavy, but at the end of the day, I'm not a pitcher. I mean, I'm an out of shape dude who,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Like Framber, he a bulldog. He kind of stocky a little bit. So and plus he wearing a hat, so he got a hat on. So
Exactly.
it wasn't going change anything. If anything, I mentioned this on the air. I feel like the jewelry he wears is more of a problem than him.
Mm-hmm.
The hair because the jewelry be dangling and all that other stuff. So that might be more of a problem than the hair. But yeah.
Yeah, no, like these are professional athletes, man. Come on, they ain't gonna do nothing that's gonna fuck up what they do for a living. It makes
Yeah.
them millions and millions of dollars. So yeah, that shit. I thought he was joking at first, but then they kept talking about it. So I'm like, okay, I guess it's actually a
Yeah.
topic now. But anyway, so the
Yeah.
game, I mean, the game was fun, but dog, I don't want to go to another baseball game for a while.
Really?
First off, it was hot as fuck. Like what we had to walk a little bit. We had a parking pass. We had to walk. Dog, it was hot as fuck. It was a
Yeah.
little cooler inside the stadium. It was fucking packed because it was July 4th weekend. We
Mm-hmm.
had some good seats, but man, the game just took so long, dog. It
Damn.
felt like it took forever. And that's the complete opposite of going into an NBA game. Because the NBA game, you feel like you in there and you out.
Yeah.
NFL game kind of feels long sometimes, but still, there's always some shit going on, so you're
Yeah.
always invested. But with a baseball game, especially that one against the Angels, that was like deadlocked at 2-2 until the bottom of the ninth when Jeremy
Yeah.
Pena hit that home run to end it, which was a great moment. My nephew got on camera and everything.
Damn.
But
Okay.
yeah, it was dope. But man, dog, it just felt like it took forever, man. I was dying. I was like, please end this, somebody end this shit soon, because
Yeah.
it just felt like it dragged on, man.
Yeah. I feel like a baseball game, it's not like going to a basketball. When you go to a basketball game, it's like, hey, I got some tickets real quick. You wanna
Mm-hmm.
go? And the game only lasts like 2 hours, 2.5 hours,
Yeah.
and you in and out. But baseball, it seemed like that's an all day event. Like
Yeah,
you
it
gotta
really
go.
was, man.
Like you got to go on a Sunday, have nothing else planned, and just chill because that shit be all day.
Yeah, it was kind of rough, man. I was feeling low. I was losing it, dog. And another thing that gets me, dog, like, do the players actually? I'm assuming the players actually choose their walk up music,
Yeah,
but I didn't hear nothing but rap music and like some Dominican Spanish music for a couple
that,
players, dog. Like even
yeah,
who there was a white, I forget his name, but he walked up to hotel lobby by Takeoff and Quavo, and I'm like, so this song is brand. How does he know about this song, man? Like, wait a
yeah.
minute, this it was blowing my mind because the Astros don't have any like black players on the team, really.
Nah,
It's just like white people and Dominicans.
yeah,
So that was blowing my mind. Like all the white players was coming out to trap rap. I'm
yeah.
like, damn, y'all. There's no like, what are there no white people songs anymore? Like, I'm asking anybody who might be listening who's white, like, what do y'all listen to now? Like,
Yeah,
serious
that's
question. Like, what do
yeah,
y'all listen to now?
yeah,
I'm lost, man, because I feel like in our time, you had like at least like the rap rock and the hard
hmm
rock and the grunge rock.
yeah. Green Day or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I mean, the audience is mixed. You have black people listening to rock and white people listening to rap, of course. But now it's like you only hear rap in every situation now, dog. So
yeah.
I'm wondering, like, is there any type of other music that white people listen to?
I don't know, man.
Of
I feel
young
like
white people, I mean, not like if you listen to country and you're older, yeah, I get that. But I'm talking about
yeah,
like young 20-year-olds white people. Do y'all only listen to rap? Like, what's
I'm
I
kind
want
of
to know.
I'm kind of curious, man. I wonder if it's a lot of pandering when it comes to this walk up music.
I felt like that too.
Because I wonder if they like, you know what, I'm gonna just go rap so I could kind
Hmm.
of pander a little bit, sing cool. Because let's say it's somebody like Kyle Tucker, and he came up to the hotel lobby, then we're gonna be like, oh shit, he cool, he's
Yeah,
super cool, he listening to
yeah.
Migos, and that's the headline. So I wonder if it's a little pandering going on with it.
It could be, man. Now I'm trying to find out who was walking up to the hotel lobby. I forget his name now. Chase McCormick or Chaz
Chaz
McCormick.
McCormick, yeah, Chaz
Yeah.
McCormick.
Yeah, he walked up the hotel lobby every single time, and I'm like, who is this? But yeah, very,
It
very,
made you
very.
respect him a little bit more, huh? He
I
invited
mean,
to the cookout.
dog, I was just wondering, like, did he actually pick this song? You know, because
Yeah.
even Jeremy Pena walked up to like fucking Grills by Nelly,
Oh yeah, yeah. I
and I'm
think
like, dog, how old are?
yeah,
Is he
because I
lying
think
about his age? How old is he, man? Walking up to Grills.
yeah, I think I want to say Jordan Alvarez. I think he walked up to Still Tipping, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean that's Ace
That
Town. I can
yeah,
forgive that.
but see, I think that kind of play into what I was saying. I think it's and there ain't nothing wrong with this little H Town pandering, but I think that's part of it too. He probably do like the song for real, but that got to be a little pandering too, because
It
he
could
wouldn't
be.
he wouldn't play that if he was in L.A.
Yeah.
So he'd probably play California Love if he was playing for the
Yeah,
Dodgers or something.
some
But
NWA song maybe or some shit. I don't know. Dr.
coming
Dre.
straight out of Compton.
Yeah. Yes, I don't know, man. I was just wondering, yeah, because some of that shit seemed kind of forced or like they didn't even pick it. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they just some hip, cool people who really get down like that. So I don't know. But interesting times at the Astros game. So yeah, supporting the home team, of course.
Yeah.
And we'll see how they do. Now let's get into some new releases, man. A lot to catch up on. I'll admit I haven't been in the days. I haven't really listened to shit. But I know you listen to a couple things, man. So let's get into it. Um, Dusty old New York niggas' favorite rapper, Lloyd Banks. Dog, can we talk about the Lloyd Banks hype for a minute? Because it always killed me, man. Because I always thought he was like the embodiment of like that New York dude that New York niggas just love. You
Yeah.
know, he never made no real pop song. He was never really singing on no damn song. He always wore like the New York outfit, the Timbs and a New York hat and all that shit. And he just looked like he was a grimy ass dude, man.
Yeah.
But I never understood the hype, but I respected him as a rapper, man. But were you a fan of Lloyd Banks growing up? Were you a big fan of him?
I actually was, man. I wasn't a huge fan, but I was a G Unit fan. And it took me a minute to warm up to Lloyd Banks because when you listen to him, he always sounds low,
Yeah.
where I could barely hear him. And my first introduction to Lloyd Banks was actually on the Busta Rhymes remix, that Touch It. And that's when you had Papoose, you had all these random people on there, and he was on there. And I'm like, why is this dude on here? He ain't even loud, because remember that song, you Busta Rhymes started off rapping a little low, and then
Mm-hmm.
like turn it up, and Lloyd Banks wasn't really loud. I was just like, why is this dude on here? And then I started seeing him way more with G Unit, and he was always just rapping super low, and it used to drive me nuts. I'm like, man. But the more I got to listening to him, the more I actually like what he was saying, because he was, to me, we always talk about Fab and how cheesy his punchlines are, and how he be using all these trendy topics and all that shit. I feel like Lloyd Banks is similar, but he don't really use the trendy shit like Fab. So he, I feel like and not even more now, I feel like he don't really try to make the love songs or anything like he was back in G Unit. But he's the definition of a New York rapper. Like if you want to hear some New York beats, you want to hear a New York type of style and flow, that's Lloyd Banks. And sometimes, I grew up listening to New York rap. So once in a while, I'll be wanting to hear that. I usually throw on Prodigy if I want to get that New York fix. But yeah, Lloyd Banks, he kind of in his own lane now where I don't think he raps that much. But yeah, he kind of had that New York style where I feel like only New Yorkers will understand him more than anybody else in the world.
Yeah, I agree. No, I agree wholeheartedly. But
I'm not,
I do,
I'm
I
not,
do.
I, yeah, I'm not mad when people say I don't care for Lloyd Banks, but I think he all right. I think he cool. I don't have a problem with him, and I listened to some of this album, and it was what you expected. It sounded like a straight up New York album.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was the best rapper in G Unit, not counting Game, because Game was in G Unit for like a month.
yeah,
So I don't really count him as part of like the original G Unit. But I feel like when they first came out, he was definitely the best rapper next to 50,
yeah.
And
Yeah,
you
I
could
think
lyrically you could say he's better.
100%. I
But
think 50 would
50
probably
just
admit
had
that.
the image. 50 had the image. He had the mainstream appeal. It's kind of like Method Man. He's like the Method Man of Wu Tang. Most Wu Tang fans wouldn't say Method Man was the best rapper,
Yeah,
but he was the most popular and famous because he had the most mainstream appeal and he
yeah,
had the image and the whole thing. So yeah,
yeah.
but
I think 50 Cent will admit that Lloyd Banks is the most talented rapper.
yeah,
And I was listening to an interview with Lloyd Banks, and he was actually talking about how 50 Cent actually helped improve what he do, because he was one of those typical rappers that just rap and don't know how to make a hook or bridge, and how to hype the crowd and stuff like that. And 50 Cent taught him how to do that. And so that's all he pretty much needed, because he had, I know a lot of people that had the bars, but they don't know how to put a song together, or they don't know how to, put a little flavor to it. They just know how to bar you up. And I think Lloyd Banks was the most talented, the best rapper out of G Unit.
I would agree too, man. But I do remember when Tony Yayo was locked up, people tried
Mhm.
to act like Tony Yayo was about to set the world on fire, and he was actually the best rapper in G Unit. Which we gotta talk about, like the myth of the locked up rapper as well,
Yeah,
because everybody, I don't think anybody recently who's gotten locked up has come out and like lived up to the expectation they had.
yeah,
Most famous case in point, Bobby Shmurda, who also dropped a new single this week.
yeah.
It's called Hoochie Daddy.
Hoochie Daddy.
Talk about this song. I don't even want to listen to this song just based off the name, but I know
Yeah,
you heard it. I will assume he's dancing either in the video or in the Instagram clip where he promoted it.
probably so. I'm guessing. I don't know if he dropped the video, but I just heard the song.
Yeah, tell me about
But
the song, man.
this song was not good, man. It was not good at all. I'm actually worried about the whole Bobby Smurder gang and all that shit. Since he been home, he ain't dropped anything at all that was appealing. And now I'm kind of worried how long he got, because these record labels, I don't want to say they held him down, but they held on to him, and he got out of jail, and people was expecting him to pick back up where he started. And I haven't heard anything, man. I haven't heard anything appealing since he been out of jail. Same thing with Roddy Rebel. I think Roddy. I listened to this album too. Roddy Rebel dropped the album called Rebel versus Rowdy, and it's alright, but to me, it's not appealing at all, man. And I'm really worried about Bobby Shmurda, man. This song was so bad. It was pretty much it was a knockoff of the Luke song Hoochie Mama.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he pretty much switched that up, saying Hoochie Daddy. And I'm just like, man, like, is he trying to find something? Because right now, Hoochie Daddy shorts is the trend. So I wonder if he's just trying to find anything that stick, something that catch on. And it's not good, man. I don't know what's going on. I'm happy he out. I'm happy he back doing music, but I don't know, man. I really don't know about. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, recently he did say he left his label. He was
Yeah.
signed to Epic, and he said he signed his release papers. So presumably he's independent now. But I don't feel like this is the case for label holding the artist back. I feel like the artist has lived out his shelf life and just can't produce another hit. So yeah, man. I mean, honestly, I think the prison time did more for him than anything.
Yeah.
Because at least that created
so.
the anticipation. I mean, if he didn't and made this type of music, like he just would have been known as a one-hit wonder. He would have been like Designer. How Designer came and went with the quickness. Bobby Shmurda would have been in that category, but the prison time did him, like, built up the myth, built up the anticipation. Then he came back and it's like, it's all you got, man.
Yeah,
So.
and I think the problem is too, and I wouldn't even call this a problem, but music changed a lot since he was in jail.
Mm-hmm.
It totally changed. Like the whole scene in New York, that sound totally changed from what was Hot Nigga. So like now is like a New York drill type of scene. You got people sounding like Pop Smoke and Fabio Foreign. So I just don't know unless he just catch on to that. I just don't know, man. And I wonder how long people gonna give Bobby Shmurda because he been home for a minute.
Yeah.
And he released enough songs where, something, I feel like something should have caught fire. And it seemed like everything thrown out there just right on the ground. So
yeah.
I'm kind of curious how long I feel like, I mean, I don't know. I don't really hear people down here listening to Bobby Shmurda or talking, good about him. But I wonder how long New York is going to hold this man up until they say, man, he ain't got it no more.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how big his fan base is now, man. I know some people probably still like him, but yeah, I would say it's dwindling now.
I feel like this is more of a New York thing, an East Coast thing.
Yeah.
Like they support people for the longest, man. They still out here talking about Uncle Murder and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Uncle Murder got one, or Mano, he got one.
Yeah.
So it's
mean, those are artists that have been around for a while at least.
Yeah,
like,
but
Bobby Shmurda, they might just
now,
quit on him.
Yeah, my thing is now, like, look, all respect to Mano and Jim Jones and stuff like that, but like I don't hear nobody around here or in the South talking about Mano. You know what I mean? That to me, and this is no disrespect at all, but that's like somebody in New York bragging about like Paul Wall or Slim Thug. They probably or Lil Flip, they probably think he just out bad somewhere, but they don't know that he's still out here performing and making music.
Yeah.
So I kind of look at it like that, but I wonder how long they're gonna try to push Bobby Shmurda until they say, you know what, he ain't got it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like that time is coming on at this point.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe he got one more in him at some point. I don't know, but I feel like this is the end. Maybe hopefully he stacked up some money and can do something. I heard when he got out of prison, he was talking about real estate and all this business stuff. Hopefully he invested. I'll just say that much because I don't know if he's built for music in the future. But we'll see. Who knows?
Yeah, I think his last resort is he probably needs some big time features.
Mm.
He
I
need
mean,
to
even
hop.
that the features won't even save you in this
Yeah,
era,
I
man.
think I think he can survive a little bit with some features. We know some people that just be hot on features and don't do shit with solo projects or solo
Hmm.
songs. So I don't know if you need to jump on the DJ Khaled single or something or
Yeah, dog. When's the last time somebody blew up off of DJ Khaled? Like, music is different
yeah,
now,
I
man.
know, man. I'm just spitballing.
Yeah, I mean that worked in the past, but I don't think features gonna save an artist. Features might make an artist. You know, Drake
Yeah.
is famous for making an artist off a feature, but
Hmm.
it's not gonna sustain you, man. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure he'll figure something out. But
Yeah.
yeah, so that brings around everything full circle because fucking Bobby Shmurda blew up off a Lloyd Banks song. Then Lloyd
Hmm.
Banks has dropped a new album,
Yeah.
and yeah, man. So also, Yo Gotti dropped a new album. You said you
Hmm.
heard some of this, Figgy?
Yeah, so this is a more of a Yo Gotti presents
Mm-hmm.
CMG the label album. So if y'all don't know, it's a lot of people signed to CMG, which is Moneybag Yo, and I think 42 Doug. I didn't know 42 Doug was signed to them. Um, and it's a couple more Memphis artists and artists all over that signed to him, and newly signed Glorilla. I don't know if you hit the Glorilla.
Yeah, I know her.
But yeah, so she just recently signed, and we got to talk about her being in the headlines after she got signed. We'll probably talk about that a little later, but
Mm-hmm.
I did check this album out, and to be honest, man, I really wasn't a fan of it. It I'm look, man, I'm not a fan of 42 Doug at all. He seemed like to me, he not as bad as Lil Durk. To me, Lil Durk can mess up a song to me. Like every time I hear a Lil Durk song, I'm just like, man, I don't feel like hearing this. But whenever I hear 42 Doug, man, it's just like, man, cut this shit off. Like, have you ever been in a car listening to something and then you're like, man, what the fuck is this? Like,
Oh, all
let
the
me cut
time,
this shit
man.
off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get like that every time 42 Doug drop a verse. It's just like, man, what is this, man? Let me cut this shit off. But he had a couple good songs on here, but I I think he got like maybe 26, 27 songs. And it was just too much. That was already a turn off where I'm like, man, I can't finish this song or this album. But Glorilla, she got a song on there that's pretty cool. I'm actually a big fan of Glorilla.
Mm-hmm.
Like her come up is kind of interesting because this her come up that it wasn't like a industry plan or anything, or not to my knowledge. It seemed like you heard the song "Fuck Nigga Free" and
Yeah, I think so.
FREE Fuck Nigga
Mm-hmm.
Free. She that song took off out of nowhere, man. Where a bunch of people started doing remixes and she started getting money right after. Like her fame kind of rose real quick after that song. After people caught wind to that song. So I'm kind of a fan of her. I went down a rabbit hole listening because I heard that song. So I'm like, let me see what else she got. So apparently she's from Memphis and she was working with a producer out of Memphis called Hitman. And when I tell you, if you listen to that song, that "Fuck Nigga Free,"
Mm-hmm.
that song sounds just like an old school 3 6 Mafia beat.
Mm-hmm.
To the point I'm like, damn, is this a 3 6 old 3 6 Mafia? It sounds exactly like it. And so I ended up looking up all the Hitman's. I think his name is Hitman. But I ended up looking up all of his shit, and a lot of his shit it sounds just like 3 6 Mafia, and I wasn't mad at it because I feel like a lot of producers try to take that sound, but they didn't perfect it like Juicy J, of course. But this dude, this is probably the closest I ever heard somebody do a 3 6 Mafia type of beat, and he's from Memphis, so it make a lot of sense. But I end up tweeting about how Glorilla, she kind of sound like a female young Dolph, and you could kind of tell in her voice that she was a Young Dolph fan, and you could tell by the by the post she wrote a couple years ago. But I ended up tweeting that, and I tweeted how that producer like got the 3 6 Mafia sound down to a T, and he actually retweeted me. I didn't know who he was. He
Hey.
actually retweeted my tweet and was like, "Memphis in my blood." So I'm like, "Who the fuck is this?" And I looked, it was him. I'm like, "Oh shit, okay." So hopefully I get him on the podcast one day.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Got to build the
But
relationships.
yeah, but yeah. Anyway. Didn't really care for this CMG the label project, but I am a huge fan of Glorilla. I feel like she's super talented. She got a unique voice, and hopefully we see more of her, man. I hope she get all the success in the world, man.
Yeah, I agree, man. I've heard some of her work. I know she's been blowing up. She's kind of like the new how Megan Thee Stallion started organically and just had some hits that started blowing up. She kind of that's the same thing going on here,
Yeah,
man, going viral and then
yeah,
signing. So yeah, hopefully it's not another Carl Crawford situation for Glorilla here.
yeah.
But
Well, she,
we'll see, man.
yeah, well, she under Yo Gotti, so
Hmm.
he seemed like he pretty cool as far as, or I don't really see his artist complaining or anything.
Yeah.
So, oh man, hopefully it'll work out. But
Yeah, I hope so too, man. But we'll see. We will see.
FREE fuck nigga free. We're about fuck nigga cheap. That song's so damn catchy.
Yeah, nah, for real, for real. Now I did hear DJ Premier got a little project out called Hip Hop 50 Volume 1. I heard some of this, man. It's only like 5 tracks.
Mm,
And it got like a bunch of rappers on it, old and new. I thought it was cool to have Slick Rick and Lil Wayne on the same
mm,
song. Lil Wayne killed it, by the way. Now,
mm.
when Lil Wayne is trying, like I'm no
Yeah,
longer mad when people say Lil Wayne is the best rapper alive. I was mad back in like 2004 or 5 or 6 or whenever he
yeah,
was saying it. And there were
yeah,
clearly better rap. I mean, Jay was damn near in his prime still. And
yeah,
like Nas was still putting out classics. I'm like, hold on, man.
yeah,
But now I'm okay with Lil Wayne saying he the best rapper. People saying
yeah,
Lil Wayne the best rapper alive. Cause at this point, man, he kind of is. I mean, most
yeah,
consistent at
yeah.
this point.
The thing with Lil Wayne is, I felt like I never heard Lil Wayne get out rapped on a song.
Yeah.
Like if he did, it was maybe like twice or 3 times or something. But most of the time, people kind of stand out the way if they on the song with Wayne
Mm-hmm.
or they know Wayne hopping on. And every time you talk about it, they be like, "Yeah, Wayne is Wayne." And even back in the 2000s when this dude was rapping with auto tune constantly.
Yeah.
And that you remember when Jay-Z had the whole campaign, death for auto tune,
Mm-hmm.
but Wayne was still doing it. And everybody was just like, yeah, Wayne is Wayne. They got to put their hands up because, like, auto tune or not, this dude was killing you on the song.
Yeah.
So I think that's the great thing about Wayne, man. When he's motivated, when it's a dope ass beat, this dude he will go in, man. He'll go hip hop on you. Like
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people, I feel like the South have a bad, I guess, stigma of not being real hip hop. But if you put a DJ Premier beat on, like niggas from the South can get busy with that. So I think Lil Wayne is one of those dudes that will get busy on a real hip hop beat.
No, I agree, man. I mean, he had a rough patch. He had a rough era. The rebirth era was rough. Um, the Carter 3, I mean, people love Carter 3 now. I thought that was a bad era for Wayne. Carter 4 as well. Like, there was a point when he got too corny with the punchlines, and now
Yeah.
it's getting embarrassing. But lately, I want to say like the past fucking 3-4 years, man, he's been super focused when it comes to rhymes. I like the last album he put out, Funeral.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he's focused, man, he's still one of the best to do it. And he sounded
Yeah.
great on this song. He killed it on a song with Slick Rick. Um, dope DJ Premier beat. Now it's not like vintage DJ Premier. I'll say that much. It's not
Yeah.
like it doesn't stack up to DJ Premier's best at all. But
Yeah.
it's still a good project to listen to, man. I like the song with Run the Jewels as well. I
Mm.
like that beat a lot. I also got Rhapsody, Remy Ma, Joy Badass on it. Check it out. It's like 5 songs long. You know, take about 15 minutes of your time. Worth listening to. Want to see who he has next on for Volume 2. But yeah, good little project put out by DJ Premier. Good to see him still active again. So
Yeah.
yeah, good stuff.
H-Town, I don't want to call him an H-Town legend because he moved.
Yeah.
But
I mean, fuck it, we still claim DJ Premier,
yeah, I
man.
think
Fuck
he
it.
still say he's from Houston. So
Yeah.
yeah, shout out
Yeah,
to
we
DJ
still claim
Premier.
him. No, 100%, 100%. Now let's get into some topics, man. A lot happened. I guess we can start off by first a quick update on ESG, man. I've heard he's recovering. What up, Tab?
What
You
up,
ain't even
Tab?
have to mention Jack Harlow that's telling you this time,
I
man. What's
know,
going on?
man.
Hope you all good. Tab chiming in on YouTube. Remember, we're streaming every Friday, pretty much every Friday, on Twitch and YouTube. Make sure you hit the link or follow us, and you'll see when we go live. Chime in. We'll include you in the conversation. Talk about what you want to talk about. Shout you out. So yeah. So without further ado, some topics, man. Oh yeah, update on ESG. ESG is recovering. Heard from him from Rocky. He seems to be doing better now, so good for that. Hoping he has a full recovery and is back and doing his ESG thing soon enough, man. So
Yeah.
yeah, shout out to ESG.
Once he get good to go, we got to get him on the podcast for sure.
Yeah, definitely. We gonna make it happen for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
So other things going on. Oh, shout out to NBA Youngboy. He beat his Fed case. He had a gun charge, I believe. Had a case and he beat it. The only rapper, it seems, lately to really have a case and beat it against the Feds. You know,
what's crazy is I felt like everybody showed up for it, man. It was a lot of random people there. I mean, you had Floyd Mayweather there because he's dating his daughter or got a baby by his daughter. But it was a lot of random people there in support. So that was kind of shocking. I never seen anything like that before. So yeah, salute to him, man.
Yeah, he had a good team on him. He was facing 10 years on a gun charge in LA, was found not guilty. So yeah, good for him. Good to see that young black man still able to do his thing. So yeah. Other things that happened this week or lately. Have you been keeping up with this damn Gillie Da Kid and Rick Ross bullshit? You gotta explain to me because I've heard a couple beefs. I don't know if you saw this video. I don't know what podcaster was showing Gillie Da Kid rapping, just dancing to some shit.
No,
and
I
he's like, "Is this the King of Philly? Is this the King of Philly?" I don't even know who that dude was, but that had me cracking up. But apparently, Gillie Da Kid now has a beef with Rick Ross. Rick, I don't know how this came about. You got to explain this one to me, man, because I'll admit I saw this happen and I was like, I kind of skipped over it. So explain to me what this beef between Rick Ross and Gillie Da Kid is about.
Yeah, so apparently, I want to say Gillie Da Kid. I'm not sure how it started, but Gillie Da Kid pretty much was talking shit about Rick Ross because he bought a cow. Rick Ross actually bought a cow. I'm not sure what Rick Ross is into. I guess
Rick Ross has a whole farm now.
Yeah. That's what I thought, but they kind of start going back and forth. They start calling each other frauds and all this other stuff. And Rick Ross ended up going back and forth saying that he spent more on cows than he do his kids, talking about Gillie Da Kid. And then Rick Ross announced that he's starting a podcast. So interested to see how long that shit gonna last. Because I feel like rappers like that, I feel like you got to be totally retired to be investing in the podcast. So Yeah, they've been going back and forth a lot. I can I'm gonna play a little clip of it for you. Hold on.
Oh, if I can't hear, damn it, this setup is messed up. I got to
Man.
click on it myself.
Oh, really? Okay.
But yeah, so just summarize what it says because I can't hear you playing audio right now. We got technical difficulties. We're still working out, but
Yeah, so he was pretty much calling him a CO nigga
okay. So
and
the
all this
same
other
typical
stuff.
shit.
Yeah, same thing, but
Yeah.
it's been a little entertaining them going back and forth. So I wonder how long this gonna last.
So you
Yeah.
said Rick Ross is starting the podcast.
Yep, Rick Ross announced that he's starting a podcast.
That could be either the best or worst podcast ever, man. Because I
I
feel like Rick Ross is an entertaining dude, but
yeah,
he's also terrible in interviews.
yeah.
So
I
I
think
don't know how that's gonna sound, man.
I do think he can start a podcast, and it could be the best. I think he have the most access to people to get on this podcast, probably more than anybody in the podcast game. But how long can he keep up doing the podcast, and how will it sound? Because I know he could get anybody. Honestly, he could probably get Jay-Z on the podcast if he really wanted to. They have that
Yeah.
tight of a relationship. But to me, like people like this that's still active in music, they don't have time to do a podcast every week or whatever the schedule might be. So I don't see this podcast lasting long at all.
I mean, if the money's right, he'll make time for it. I mean, I
Yeah, but
think if the
see,
money's right, he'll make time for it. Like you
I,
fucking got fucking Draymond Green in the middle of a final series making time for his podcast. So you know he's getting paid off that. I think if the
yeah,
money is right, he could do it weekly if the
but
money was right.
but see that's the part that's kind of a little troublesome for me because Ti was doing the podcast too,
Mm-hmm.
and the reason he stopped was because it wasn't enough money in it. He wasn't really getting that much money.
Mm-hmm.
So if Ti not really getting a good bag or good enough bag where he can still do it and keep doing it weekly or whatever the case may be, I don't know if Rick Ross can do it unless he get like a revolt deal or some type of deal like that where it's a for sure bag and all he gotta do is just do these podcasts. I don't know how much money it is for him to stop what he's doing to take time out of his day to do a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So that I'm kind of worried about that. But if he really into it, I'll check it out. I'll see what he's talking about. I'm kind of curious if he just doing this just to fuck with Gillie.
It could be.
Yeah,
Like,
so he
let me
gonna do
show this
like one.
nigga. Let me do bigger numbers on my first podcast with some big
Yeah,
rap superstar. Then he quit.
yeah, yeah. I can see him doing that or just talking shit the whole time and then not put another episode out.
Yeah.
So.
Tab says Ricky Rose. Ricky
Rose.
Rose gonna have to hire a good co-host, lead the topics and ads. Yeah, I agree. I don't see Rick Ross doing an ad read for a Bevel.
Yeah.
Then
Hey
Tab
guys, y'all want to get y'all beards all lined up right. You got to go
I
with
can't
these
see him doing
razors.
that. I can't see him doing Me Undies, all these regular typical podcast ass people be doing.
He'd probably do something for Wingstop.
Oh, definitely. But that's just him. He'll probably be snacking on Wingstop during the podcast. And it'll sound terrible because you don't realize
Yeah.
we could hear him fucking smack him.
If you want those lemon peppers, you dig.
Tab says everyone see what Joe Rogan makes and now they want to do a podcast. Yeah, I agree, but that's a terrible standard to hold yourself by because Joe Rogan has the biggest. No other podcast will be as big as Joe Rogan's ever.
Yeah,
like that is the max you could ever do. He was
started way before anybody else knew what a podcast was.
Exactly. He was at the ground floor. Ground floor, but people didn't know what podcasts were. He was a podcast. I remember the first podcasts were like at his house in some shitty ass setup. And it was just like, he'd been in the ground since the beginning, man. He's like the first guy to invest in Bitcoin.
Yes.
Like you ain't gonna get that chance again, man. The podcast game is oversaturated now. I said as we on our podcast, but hey, we got the best podcast, by the way, just so you know. But The podcast game is oversaturated. And yeah, we'll see how he does. But yeah, I'm not. I'll check out the first episode. I'll say that much. Whatever he does, I'll check it out. The first episode at least to see how it sounds. And
Yeah.
speaking of Jay-Z, he was on a Kevin Hart show. Kevin Hart has a show. I know it was uploaded to YouTube, and he got Jay-Z on it. It was a long kind of podcast type of format. It's this discussion. They're like in a wine cellar, and I listened to some of it. I listened to like the first part. It's like an hour long or like 50 minutes. Kevin Hart's just annoying to listen to now because he's not a comedian no more, really, man. He's like a motivational speaker. And speaking of Jay, he's just like, the dick riding was disgusting, man. I'm like, can you just ask him normal questions without prefacing it by talking about how great Jay-Z is before you ask the question?
Yeah.
Like, it gets annoying. Then I guess every episode they bring out a bottle of wine, but for that episode they brought out an Ace of Spades bottle. And Jay was like, "Can I get some wine too?" Like, why would you bring Jay Ace of Spades? How you realize I'm probably sick of Ace of Spades he is at this point, man. He's been talking about that shit since like 2013, man. Come on, dog.
Yeah, and see that it sucked because I feel bad for people like Jay-Z because I'm sure when they go in an environment, they want to be treated just like everybody else.
Yes.
Like, don't treat me special. like let me drink whatever you drinking too. Like, why you gotta bring up my shit?
Yeah, it was so silly, man. It was so silly. But I listened to it. I will say, man, I like listening to Jay interviews now because I feel like since he's not in rapper mode no more, like he's a lot more honest, man. Like he's a lot more refreshing. His voice is like lighter. I remember back in the day listening to an interview by Jay. He was trying to sound like a hard ass nigga still, you know, and it was kind of annoying. But now he's a lot more open. He's a lot more just honest. He's having fun. He's making jokes and shit. Like he's not trying to maintain that street image no more.
Yeah,
it's kind of refreshing, man. So I'm listening to the rest of the interview. I think it's called Heart to Heart. It's on YouTube now. I'm gonna check that out. But yeah, it seemed like a good conversation if you get past Kevin Hart and this motivational horse shit.
Yeah, is that where he mentioned how I guess he addressed the rumors of retirement or something?
Yeah, I think so. Jay-Z did say he's not retired.
I was wondering where it came from. I'm like, damn, this felt like 07 all over again. Or not 07, it was like 04.
Yeah.
Because I was a freshman in high school and the Black Album was the last album and all that bullshit, and didn't even retire.
Yeah. No, Jay-Z said he's not retired, but he's not working on a new album right now. So
that's how it should be, man. You shouldn't
basically, he'll drop whenever he feels like it or feels inspired, which I think is a perfect place for an artist to be.
Yeah,
you know, not having to label obligations and it's next year you got to drop something, you got to drop it on this timetable. That's how writer's block happens, man, because sometimes you're not inspired. So for him to drop whenever he feels like dropping is probably the best thing for him, man. So
I agree. We'll and I like I like how he said, I'm not retired, I'm not retired. A lot of rappers need to do this, man.
Yes.
They shouldn't have to say, oh, this is my last album or I'm retiring after this. Like, no, just, drop your music. And if you don't feel like dropping, don't drop anything.
Yeah.
Just leave that door open because you're going to look like a fool when you drop another song or album the next year or some shit. So just leave that door open.
Man, I even heard Chamillionaire rapping again, dog. I heard him on that new Toby song.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, he's on with Toby. I want to say 2 Chainz too.
Okay.
And he got a little verse on it, man. I'm like, see, even Chamillionaire is still back in the game, man. Nobody, no, if you really rap, you ain't just gonna give it up, man.
Yeah.
So unless something crazy happens like the DLC and you can't rap no more.
Yeah.
But like if you can rap, you're gonna keep wanting to rap, man. Even Joe Budden, I think, is gonna drop a track sooner or later. So
he gonna hop on somebody's song. and it's kind of like that with me too, because like I kind of been inspired more than I ever been in a minute, but it's not like a thing where I'm like, I'm done with music and I'm never doing it again. I love music so much And I love it even more now since, we be, interviewing young artists for the, Gems and Juice Artist Spotlight. And when I hear new shit like that, it's like, damn, that shit sound hard. Let me, let me,
Mm-hmm.
let me write something and just mess around with it. That's all it takes, man. And if you're an artist at heart, you would never just give up the game like that, especially that early. It's one thing if you old and you just done with it, but you always gonna be doing something with music, writing or
Yeah.
anything. So yeah, don't just shut the door like that.
No, I agree, man. Yeah, it's about time for you to dust off the boards, man. About time for a Figgy album again. You got all these new relationships. You got high stats in Houston. We're trying to get you a day named after you.
I know, man.
So you got all these relationships now, man. You can get Leroy on the hook. You get all
I
these people
know.
we know do a verse. Yeah, it could happen, man. You can make it happen.
Yeah.
Tab says that's what T-Pain was saying on Academics podcast. Writer's block when forced to put something out. Yeah, I agree, man. And I like that Nicki Minaj talked about that as well. You know, why she hadn't put anything out in a while. She just couldn't, she wasn't inspired.
Yeah.
So it
And
happens, man.
yeah, it's hard when you're not inspired because then you listening to what everybody else doing and you try to
Exactly. And say
imitate that.
I need to sound like that. And it sounds corny because that's not
Yeah.
you.
Yep. Yep, exactly. So,
Yeah.
but when you like go through a couple things in life, then it's like, all right, I got something to talk about now. And that's when you make your best shit.
Mm-hmm. Yep. T-Pain would seem like he was wild on that academics podcast, though,
No,
man.
yeah.
Every day I see a new wild quote from that podcast. I know he said Tupac would get ate up in this era,
Yeah.
which I thought we were finally past people shitting on Tupac, man. And at least I could understand when it was like the young niggas saying this shit. People who were born after Tupac died. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, at least I could excuse that as ignorance.
Yeah.
I didn't like that T-Pain said that, man. Come on,
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah. He
Like,
said like 3 different things, man.
yeah, he said that. He said something else too that I forgot. But
Yeah.
he said a couple things where I'm like, man, what are you talking? Were you drunk? He had to be tipsy off of something because yeah,
Yeah.
he was kind of wild. And Boozy got mad at him about that shit too. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he dissed Chris Brown kind of too. He
Oh
called him a
yeah.
princess.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much saying he had light skin privilege.
Yeah,
That
he
was
said he had basically he was, I mean, he made a good point about Chris Brown. He basically said that, you know, when you're an artist who's always getting praised no matter what you put out, then suddenly you put out stuff and the reaction ain't what you expect, then you blame everybody else but yourself. And I think that applies to Chris Brown, but maybe he shouldn't have said that out loud because I think he fucks with Chris Brown, but T-Pain don't care.
I think he screwed up by calling them saying the whole princess
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, you don't call no
that's
other man princess.
Yeah, you know,
I
he
don't care what the
affiliated, man.
contest is.
He gonna send the Pyru after him.
Yeah, you know he's from LA.
Chris Brown gonna gang bang on T-Pain, man. He better not come to Compton or wherever the fuck Chris Brown be chilling at.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Tupac shit was weird. Boozy got mad at him. He said Tab said they were wasting in the interview. Okay, I'm gonna check it out. T-Pain drunk is always funny as hell, man. I'll say that much. He's super entertaining. He's super funny. So I'm gonna probably check that out. But Boozy got really mad at Tupac shit. I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah. People just need to leave Tupac alone. I was talking about this with somebody not that long ago. How, Tupac and Biggie, we need to take them off the list and just put them in a whole nother category. Like, I'm tired of arguing about Tupac and Biggie, who the best, and Tupac, he wouldn't be good in this era and all this other shit. Like, to me, this is like arguing if Bill Russell would be good playing. I think they were just arguing about something like this not that long ago about who was it? Kevin Durant and he had shit on Larry Bird if he was playing during that time and some shit. It's just like nobody knows what would happen. Like that's some bullshit, low hanging fruit ass conversation. Like why is we sitting here trying to see who's better between Larry Bird and Kevin Durant, who will win 1-on-1 or some bullshit? Like it's just
It's like
goofy.
to me is like you just like what classics do we have that? Well, I don't know. I don't want to do the Tupac thing. I have no energy for it, honestly, man. We'll
Yeah,
talk about that some other time. I just had no energy for the Tupac debate. We've done this enough. If you're a
yeah,
Gins and Juice vet, I'm sure you heard this conversation plenty of times. We talked
yeah,
about it when Arian Foster brought it up back in the day, back when we had
yeah,
Fred Davis on, our first white guest on the podcast.
yeah,
Remember that was a topic. So go back and listen to that one if you want to hear our thoughts
yeah.
on
The
Tupac today.
the other thing T Pain brung up, and I wanted to get your opinion on this to see if this is so he was talking about Akon. I don't know if you heard about this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
He said Akon was to he would have his brother perform at other venues while he performed somewhere else at the same time, so he could double up the bag. He would so his brother would be performing as Akon
Mm-hmm.
somewhere else, and while Akon is performing somewhere else, and so they pretty much getting double the bag. So yeah, I had no idea Akon was doing this, and his brother kind of looked similar a little bit. so if you
Like in
went
a
to a
dark look in a dark room, they
with
both dark
glass, just imagine
skinned.
he had glasses
Yeah.
on, and
Mm-hmm.
like you have no idea. So
You
if you
wouldn't
went to an
know.
Akon show, you might have been
Yeah, you
watching
might have
his
seen
brother.
fake on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I wanted to get your opinion. Do you think this is genius or this is foul by Akon?
I mean, it kind of reminds me of what MF Doom was doing. You
Mm,
know, MF Doom was having imposters in mass do shows, and
mm,
he got called out for it. But it kind of fit him because he's like the super villain, man. Of course,
mysterious.
super villain would scam his audience. But so I mean, genius in a way. I respect the hustle on some level, but it's also some scammy horse shit, man. I can't support that. I can't. That's
Yeah,
fraud, dog. That's
it
definition of
is.
fraud.
Yeah,
You paying money, people paying a good hard earned money to go see Akon, and they not seeing Akon. That's fraud,
yeah.
man. You can fucking get sued and go to
You could,
jail for that shit.
yeah, I was gonna
So
say, yeah, because if they call him doing that in real time, people gonna ask for their money back.
exactly.
Like I don't give a damn how good the show is or if you sound just like him. Like, nah, I'm coming to see Akon. I want to see Akon.
Mm-hmm.
So it was, I guess, it's kind of genius for the simple fact that he trying to double up the bag a little bit. If he got if he was booked for a show in 2 days or something, and he want to get greedy and get all of it. I think it's kind of genius from that part. But as a fan, I wouldn't be a fan of this.
Yeah, no, that's whack, man. Well, we can't be supporting scamming shit, dog. Like I said, I respect the hustle in a way, but that's some scammy bullshit. I can't support
Yeah,
it, man.
and it's
That's
like
that's
how much,
whack.
and then it's like how much money do you need, man?
Exactly.
Like what you get? What 50,000 or some shit,
Mm-hmm.
or 25,000 or whatever the price might be?
Yep.
It's like, come on, man.
But on another level too, I have to say, like, because a popular dark skin joke back in the day was called any dark skinned nigga Akon. Like,
Yeah,
hey, Akon. So maybe that was like the get back. And since every dark skinned dude is Akon back then, say, hey, here's Akon. Y'all say every dark skinned nigga Akon, so here's Akon here. But yeah, man, but nah, that's some scammy bullshit. You can't be doing that. You can't be having fake shows, man. That's whack.
yeah,
Other things that happened this week. You did want to bring up the oh yeah, let's talk about this first. I'm talking about Funk Flex and Griselda because I did actually hear about this.
yeah,
So it was Conway who brought this shit up, right? Yeah, it was Conway who
yeah,
got on like an Instagram live or something
yeah,
and was basically just shitting on Funkmaster Flex.
yeah. Let me try to play this audio real quick. I think I can play it from here. But yeah, Conway, he went on a rant, pretty much the same rant rappers be going through.
Yeah, DJs are
They don't support
old, they
us.
gatekeeping, blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
yeah. Let me play this. Can you hear this?
Not really, but go ahead and play it. I could hear a little bit.
All right. Yeah, that's most of what he was saying. So if you ain't here, he was saying how um, pretty much Flex don't really support their music. DJ Sus One was on Wendy Williams and didn't play their music. He shouted them out, but didn't play their don't really play their music, and
Mm-hmm.
they're all gatekeepers and stuff like that. So just a typical rapper versus DJ rant.
Yeah, and Funk Flex, who of course loves drama, he built a career off of rapper drama. So of course he ate into this, man. He called out Conway too. Basically, was like, what kind of music of yours is popping right now, man? Shit like that. I mean, I thought it was kind of funny for Conway to talk about how old Funkmaster Flex is, when I don't think he's too much older than Conway.
Yeah, he
So it's
right
an
behind him.
old head on old head violence here going
Yeah,
on. And like, look, like, I don't know what I mean. Griselda, I think, has exceeded what was expected of them.
yeah,
I mean, they would be kind of corny if they were getting played on the radio all the time. Let's be honest. Like, the
yeah,
appeal of them is like they're an underground group, man. They're a
yeah.
grimy, old school sounding group. You don't want to
Mm-hmm.
hear their shit on the radio, man. Wu
Yeah,
Tang got corny to people when they started getting played on the radio all the time, man, with some mainstream sounding hits and shit.
yeah,
Method Man doing songs with Mary J. Blige. That kind of took away from some of their grittiness, you
yeah,
know? So, I don't know. Like, it's a tired debate at this point, man. And I could see if it was a young rapper who was popping in the streets and was like, Funk, don't play my shit. We need some younger DJs and controlling the culture. I could see that.
yeah,
But Conway making it about Griselda and him not playing their records, it's like
yeah.
it didn't hit for me, man. I didn't see his point.
The problem I have with this is you rappers don't necessarily need a DJ to spin their shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like Griselda is doing just fine without Funk Flex spinning their music. I don't know if he want them to spin it on the radio or what, but I feel like they're doing just fine without that. So why do you need somebody like him to play your records? Like who gives a shit at this point?
Mm-hmm.
Because y'all got a loyal fan base anyway. So why? I mean, what is that gonna do if he spin your shit? But to me, man, I just look Funk Flex actually replied to this, and he was saying how ain't nobody, he's in clubs. Ain't nobody trying to listen to no Griselda in the club, man. And to me, it makes sense. And this is huge coming from somebody like Funk Flex because he was always considered like the old dinosaur
Mm-hmm.
and never really gave in to the new rap. But now he's actually giving in to the new rap. He actually be having all of these young rappers on. He's spinning their music. So he had to grow from that too because he was the same way where it was, New York hip hop and all this other shit. But now, he see where it is. He see where the money is. And, no disrespect to Griselda, but that's not what they playing on the radio and, in clubs. So at the end of the day, it's a business for him. So I just don't understand why, Griselda was so pissed about this.
Yeah, I don't know. And I hate to say it, man. They seem to be like a group that's always whining now.
Yeah.
Like, either they got beef with each other and the group trying to break up, or now they whine at Funkmaster Flex. It's like, man, just make your music, dog. Like, I don't want to hear this old head yelling from the porch, talking
Yeah.
about how what people ain't supporting people and shit. It's like, man, just make your music, man. You got a fan
Yeah.
base, got a solid fan base that supports you.
Yeah.
You just work off of that.
The thing is, like, even like with Funk Flex, he like the definition of a gatekeeper. That's not really Funk Flex. People ain't going to Funk Flex. He ain't like the guy you got to go to get somewhere. You could get somewhere without going to Funk Flex. So I don't really understand why he's saying you gotta get rid of these gatekeepers like Funk Flex and all this other stuff. It's a lot of ways you can, be successful without going to him per
Yep.
se. But I don't know, man. It seemed a little bitter, man. And it's like, damn, if he was playing your shit, will you be sitting here making this argument? So I just don't get it, man. And they're not that type of group. I used to be the artist that always complained to DJs too, like play my shit and all this other shit. But it's deeper than that, man. You got to build relationships. You got to make good music for them to play your shit. And I don't know what happened between them two, but I don't know, man. Griselda, like, I just don't get it, man. Griselda is not the type of music you play in a club or some shit. So I just don't understand why he's so pissed about that. And they, like you said, they exceeded their expectations. So they should be cool that they even high up on the list like this.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, really, they should be looking inward because they got everything a rapper and that rap group could ask for. They got the major label, they got Shady behind them, they
Yeah,
had all these connections, all these industry. Like they made it, man. They made it compared to what they were before. Like they
yeah,
made it. They're successful.
yeah. They
So,
probably the most hot, probably not high maintenance, but high end type of underground crew that made it.
mhm.
Because you got other people like Rock Marciano and people like that didn't make it to that level, and they're still underground. But you don't see Rock saying, "Hey, play my music, Flex." All these
Mhm.
gatekeepers and these DJs won't spin our shit. It's just like, man, like no, like you got your fans, you got your fans, you making your money. Just keep it moving, man.
No, I agree. I agree. Kind of a corny beef, but it's a lot of corny
Yeah,
beefs in
this
hip hop right
because
now,
this
man.
yeah, this is because this ain't like how remember when DJ Envy said he ain't playing no more Nicki Minaj, and he just refused to play her because of some little incident they both had. It's not like that because Nicki Minaj make radio music,
Mhm.
and if somebody like that is not playing her music, that could be a problem. But this ain't even that type of situation because it's like, how can I even play it? Like I'm sure if the song was hot enough to play on the radio, he would. But it's like I don't know. Artists be in they feelings so much, man. They just need to just do music and keep it moving. And then he said, good thing I ain't got to go to him because that otherwise that stump my growth or something like that. If it's not stumping your growth, why did you complain about it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like if we was doing this podcast and we got to a high level and then some executive or something didn't really rock with us like that and we like, man, see this executive, they would have stumped our growth if we was working with them. Oh, this, like, why do it matter now? Like, it don't even matter at this point. If you sit here and talk about you getting money and you doing good, why are you complaining about this?
No, I agree. And I always thought that's funny about rappers. They brag about their lifestyle and how much money they making, how much they selling. And the next minute they get mad at people for not listening to their albums. They get mad at the label for not paying them enough. And they want like complaining about money suddenly. Like you ain't either something's not connecting here, man.
Yeah,
Either you rich and don't need rap, like you say in all your fucking raps, or you do need rap and you're desperate for a fucking contract or some shit to work out. So
yeah.
yeah, man, it's always funny seeing that contradiction about them rapping about certain shit and then complaining on Twitter about the label, the DJs. Like, come on, man. It's always funny to
Yeah,
me
yeah.
the hypocrisy of it all. But we are in a hypocritical world, so
Hmm.
what can you do?
Yeah.
Now you brought this up earlier. I guess the internet detectives, did some digging up on Glorilla, who just
Hmm.
recently signed a Yo Gotti's label. And I guess they found out that he was or she was a Young Dolph fan,
Yeah, she was, man.
which means that you were anti Yo Gotti if you're a Young Dolph fan.
Yeah.
So Yeah, there was a tweet put up by her. I can't see the year it was put up,
Yeah,
but
this was put up. I want
2020, 19. I can't even see it. I need to
it might
enlarge the
be two.
screenshot.
It might be 2018.
Yeah, I can't see it.
Yeah,
The fucking motherfucking people put sidebar. I am sick of people putting watermarks on shit that you fucking took a screenshot of.
yeah.
Okay, you know what
That's
watermarks are
not
for?
yours.
When
Yes.
you create something yourself and
Yeah.
don't want it being used, like if you make a cool edit that actually took you work to put together, if you made a drawing, if you made something, because people always do that shit where they cut out the original creator and
Yeah.
post it. I get it. You don't put a fucking watermark on a tweet
That's
that you
not
screen
yours.
capped.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Anybody could do that. Nobody ever says, "Oh, let me go to this account because they must got
Yeah.
the T." Get
Yeah.
fuck out of here, man. I'm sick of this shit, dog.
Yeah, me
Everything
too.
got a big ass watermark on it. You fucking screenshot, you fucking take a video that's been posted up already and put your own shit. Some people on YouTube will take a video that's already circulating around, change
Yes.
nothing about it except putting in their, oh, listen to DJ so and so or
Yeah.
whatever the fuck. Dog, fuck out of here with that shit, man. I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
I'm sick of it, dog. Like, just nobody's gonna check out your stupid fucking Instagram page just because you screen capped a tweet.
Yes.
Stop this bullshit, man. I'm sick of this, dog.
Yeah. Remember back in the day when they have like a fight video or something? And then like
Yes.
go to hiphopdan.com. And then it'd be like sound effects on it, like
Yes.
go to hiphopdan.com, and then just play it throughout the whole thing.
And they didn't even take the video, man. They
Yes.
stole the video, put their
Yes.
own shit on top of it, and put it out there, man. That's the most sickening part of it, dog. I'm sick of this watermark culture. I'm sick of the DJ tag, the tagging everything like it's yours. Like
Go to juiceandpark.com.
Yes.
Go to juiceandjuice.com.
Yes.
Go to juiceandjuice.com. And they just keep doing that.
Yes.
Like, man, let me cut this shit off.
It's fucking annoying, man. And like I said, it's not their video. They didn't even look hard for it. It's a video that's everywhere. And then you just look, the first result you click on it is some bullshit.
Yes.
Nobody's going to check out your page. Nobody's going to listen to your shit just because you posted a video that people were looking for, okay? Nobody cares where the video came from, okay?
Yeah.
Nobody cares who screen capped the tweet. You care about the tweet.
Yeah. I wonder who just sit there and think, oh yeah, let me put the website right here across the whole fucking picture. Let me go to this Instagram page.
Oh man,
that's great marketing, ain't it? Let me go to this.
Oh god, people just trying to get on by any means necessary. Y'all give it a fucking rest, okay? Nobody cares. All right. I just hate this shit, man. I hate when people have a tweet related to nothing. Some people have a funny tweet, but then they put like they shit at the bottom, like listen to my music too. Like sometimes it makes sense. Sometimes I understand it, but other times it's like you made a joke, dog.
Yes.
we came for the joke. We didn't come for the music or whatever else, man. But even that's not as bad as the whole screen capping shit. I don't mean to mix that in between it, because the screen capping shit, the stealing people's shit and posting it as your own, that shit is the worst. I'm sick of that.
It's so irritating.
Yes. I had to get that off my chest, man, because I'm really sick of it, dog. It's getting worse, man. And I'm looking at this tweet that we're trying to read, and the fucking watermark is all across the shit. You can barely.
I know.
It's so fucking annoying, man. So, anyway, the tweet says, once you get past the stupid ass fucking watermark, the tweet says, "Fuck out of here, Dolph clean got off on Yo Gotti ass on my mama."
I think it's a food off. Is it food off?
I figured she was trying to say FOH, like fuck out of here.
Okay.
But maybe I'm mistaken. I don't know. Maybe
Okay.
food off means something else. I don't know. But I thought she was
Yeah.
saying fuck out of here.
Mm.
He said Dolph clean got off on Ho Gotti ass
On
on
my
my
mama.
mama or
Yeah.
whatever else OMM could mean. And then a
Yeah.
bunch of emoji laughing, crying face.
Yeah. So apparently she and this is on Facebook because this is her whole name, Gloria
Mm-hmm.
Woods. But yeah, so apparently this went viral after she signed her deal to Yo Gotti. So now they trying to call her out like, damn, like you was just talking shit about him, but now you want to sign to him.
I mean, is this look? If you
Uh,
go, everybody done shit. Like they remember a few years ago, they looked through all these industry people old tweets, and this is
yeah,
really when people started taking care of like their internet shit and started deleting shit. Because a
yeah,
few years ago, I remember this day, they went through like every big entertainer and found some tweets of them shitting on somebody they work with now or are cool with now, and
yeah,
it's happened. And they had to all apologize for it. Everybody except the only one who didn't was Tyler the Creator. He didn't give a fuck. He's like, I fuck it, I meant all that. But he's a troll, so nobody
yeah,
cared. But everybody else, ASAP had something like that. I think Travis Scott had some. Like every big artist had some shit where they were tweeting on some, shitting on somebody that they fuck with now, and they
yeah,
had to apologize for it. I thought that was hilarious. So it's nothing new, man. Come on. She was probably even younger than what she is now. Well, definitely she was. And
yeah,
you're a teenager getting tweets off. It ain't the same. Of course, people grow up, you get into business with people, and then your opinions change,
yeah,
obviously. So it ain't no big deal, man.
yeah. I think people being petty. And look, man, this was whatever the year was since it's all blocked, maybe 2017, 18, or 19.
Mm-hmm.
But look, man, people grow. Like she probably was a kid, she blew up out of nowhere, first of all. So clearly she was a fan of Young Dolph. And we all do that all the time, man. You was a big Jay-Z fan, so you sided more with Jay-Z than Nas. And I mean, I'm sure you got some
Mm-hmm.
Nas hate tweets
No,
from back in the
yeah.
day. So yeah, honestly, I probably got some hate Jay-Z tweets because I was a Dipset fan.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all there, man. But I'm tired of people, and it's so damn easy to just search what you could have tweeted,
Mm-hmm.
especially on Twitter. You could just go to somebody's Twitter page and type in that name handle, and then you could type in something like nigga or something to see if they
Mm-hmm.
said nigga. How many times they said. That's how people be getting caught up.
Yes.
So every time somebody say something goofy, then they just search their
Some
tweets.
white person goes viral off of some shit, and then they look
Yeah.
him up and it said nigga, like that one girl who was rapping that was a little baby, that white lady who was
Oh
rapping little
yeah.
baby. They
Yeah.
searched her, and like the nigga wasn't even bad. Like she was talking about a bobcat, but they tried to cancel her for that shit. I'm like, man, y'all just getting desperate at this point. If she
Yeah.
actually said called a black person a nigga, I would have been a little more like, eh. But
Yeah.
nah, she called a bobcat a nigga, like the animal. So I'm
Yeah.
like, nah, whatever.
Yeah. Speaking of the tweets going viral, it was somebody, I forgot who it was. It was some R&B person. I don't know if it was Lucky Day or if it was like Brent Fires or it was somebody in that caliber. They pretty much said Soldier Boy was whack as fuck or something. They
Mm-hmm.
said this back in 2012.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah. It was Brent Fire. Yeah, I remember
it
that.
was Brent
Yeah.
Fires. And
Mm-hmm.
Soldier Boy retweeted that shit like a couple days ago. Talking about like, shut up, bitch ass nigga. He said something. He was like mad about it. It was a tweet from
Dog,
2012.
10 years ago, man. Come on now, man. Come on now, man.
It was funny. It was just like, man, like Soldier Boy is funny as hell for even entertaining that, man.
Nah, he is. He is.
Because
Like,
Brent Fires, what was he doing back in 2012?
dog, he was what? Fucking the teenager. Like, he
Yeah.
probably 2012 was the early years of Twitter too, man. Everybody was just tweeting bullshit at that time,
Yeah,
dog.
that's when Twitter was cool, man. When you
Mm-hmm.
could just tweet anything. Now motherfuckers too button up and professional on Twitter, man.
Twitter's just annoying. Like I'm addicted to Twitter because I can never leave it, but it's just annoying now. Like the vibes ain't the same. People don't follow each other no more. People
Yeah,
don't fucking interact no more. It's all just fucking. It's a mess, man.
yeah. I think it got worse once like media people got on there
Oh yeah,
because they
definitely.
only on there for news and stuff like that. So whenever somebody tweet a joke or something like that, they be like, "Oh, why he tweet that?" and
Hmm.
all this other bullshit. It's just like Twitter was all about fun and jokes and shit like that, good vibes. Now motherfuckers, they be screenshotting shit and be like, "Oh, look what he said." Oh, he
No,
liked this.
they give you a warning if you include certain words in your tweet before tweeting them. They're
Damn.
like,
Oh
this might
yeah,
offend. Like if you say stupid or some shit like that, they
yeah,
say, "Oh, are you sure you want to tweet this? This could be offensive, and people don't like tweets like this." I'm
yeah,
like, what?
yeah.
Pussify that, man.
One of my Instagram comments got flagged because I think it was somebody it was a video, somebody did something stupid. It was like a little kid or something did something stupid. I think it was a little kid. No, it might have been a grown ass man did something. I'm like, man, somebody should have whooped his ass.
Oh
And my
yeah,
shit
yeah,
got
yeah,
flagged for
yeah,
that. I'm like,
yeah.
damn. And I usually don't be commenting on no public posts and shit like that. But I thought it was
Hmm.
kind of funny. I'm like, man, they need to whoop his ass. Man, I
Yeah.
look back a couple days later, they said my shit was my comment got flagged. I'm like, damn.
No, that yeah, they you can't even joke about violence anymore, man.
Yeah,
Like if you say if you say if somebody gets my order wrong, I would whoop their ass. Some shit is clearly joking. You
yeah,
could get banned for that, dog. Like they don't fuck around with any kind of perceived threats of violence, even if it's a joke.
yeah,
So yeah, you can't even get that off no more, man. So
it's goofy, man.
yeah, it really is. It really is. But people ruined it, man. I don't even blame the companies, it's the people. People got on, people blame the Tumblr migration. Tumblr was a app full of like sensitive artists. And once that changed because they banned porn and got more cracked down on shit, everybody moved to Twitter
Yeah,
and Twitter got ruined. So yeah.
yeah,
It
yeah,
is what it is.
yeah,
Elon Musk might have to buy it after all, so we'll see if he does anything with it.
yeah. He said he withdrew his, I guess, offer or some shit.
Yeah.
So I guess that ain't happening.
Yeah. I mean, he was offering too much for it. That's why they're trying to offload it because they know that nobody else gonna buy it for that much.
Yeah,
And he know it ain't worth that. So oh,
yeah,
Tab says he got banned on IG for saying cracker, referring to a white dude. WTF. Yeah, that's because if you black, you don't get banned for saying nigga. So
yes, yeah,
why do you Tab dog? I'm fighting for your case, man. I'm a
yeah. That's crazy.
if you need me to advocate for you, I'm a claim reverse racism because
Yeah,
that's not fair. You should be able to say cracker if you're white. Okay,
yeah. So
that's
I wonder. So if we say cracker, will we get banned?
if somebody reports us, maybe.
Yeah,
But I mean, that's probably just one of those words you get banned for. But then
yeah.
people say nigga all the time and they don't
That's
get
what I'm
banned for
saying.
that. So that's
Yeah, and
crazy.
see, I was thinking like, damn, like it's weird how they just let the word nigga fly. Like,
Hmm.
oh, that's cool to do it, but cracker or something like that, that's not cool. And it's just like, damn, like why y'all letting nigga fly then? But
But
in
to
the
be
same breath, people use it all the time. So
exactly, and that's
we'd be pissed if we couldn't say it.
yeah. I remember a few years ago because Xbox was like king of racism when you're fucking playing
Yeah,
online games, people calling you dirty N words and shit. So a while back, I remember they like banned anybody or suspended people who said the N word.
damn.
But then all the black people complained about it because they're like, all of us got banned or
That's how we
suspended.
talk. Yeah.
Exactly. So like black people would fight that tooth and nail.
Yeah.
So that's the issue.
Yeah. That's that's
We
a
the
double edged
ones who want to
sword.
keep the word alive. So that's crazy.
Yeah, because like I don't even know if we should if somebody like me should be offended that it's cool to use the word nigga, but not cool to use the word cracker. but in the same breath, we always use that word. So yeah, I guess
Cracker
people
should
fought
not
for
get
that
you
word.
banned from
No,
anything,
it
man. Don't
shouldn't, man.
people can't even act like that's anywhere near similar, okay? Cracker is
Yeah,
just a funny word, all right? I'm
yeah.
sorry it is.
Like
Honky,
it's
all the white people words are just funny, man.
yeah,
Honky,
and
cracker, these words don't
and
even mean shit.
honestly, I feel like white people don't even be offended from that word.
They're not. They just want to
They
say,
they
since
just
we can't say this, you can't say that.
yeah.
That's all they care about,
Yeah,
man.
or they try to use it against us, saying, "Oh, y'all get to say this, but we can't say that."
Exactly. I
So
ain't never heard no
I ain't heard
white
nobody.
man
Yeah,
get really mad about being called a cracker. You know
yeah.
what?
So,
Go ahead.
oh no, I was gonna say like, what's the story behind the word cracker or honky?
I've
Like it,
heard different things about crack. People said the crack of the whip. I don't know if that's even true. I think that's just one of them rumors that got perpetuated. I don't know where cracker came from.
yeah,
People say it's from slavery. I don't know if that's true.
yeah,
Um, the only word I know that white people get really mad if you say or call them is cunt,
yes,
especially white women. Dog,
yes.
I was watching this soccer documentary. We going way off whatever the fuck we were talking about, but fuck
Fuck
it.
it.
I was watching this soccer documentary with a team called Tottenham, and they
Mhm,
had this manager named Jose Mourinho,
mhm.
and like he cussed all the time. Like this is like one of the most famous things that made him famous. He cussed all the time about everything. He says, fuck this, fuck that, stop playing like a bitch. But there was one word he said that kept getting censored. And I'm like, what is he saying worse than fuck? And it was cunt. And I'm like, what? Every cunt got bleeped out, but he could say bitch, he could say fuck, he could say shit every minute, and it was fine. But
what's
every cunt he said got bleeped out. I'm like, what is going on here, dog?
what's the backstory on that word, man?
I don't know either, but
Because I
that's
never
fighting words for some white people I know.
shit. It's fighting words for a lot of white people I know.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, he used the C word.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck is the C word? I'm
Yeah.
sitting trying to figure out. He used the word cunt.
He said cunt. Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
It's like
I'm
I don't
like,
get it, man.
yeah, I don't get it. Like, I feel like our fighting words is somebody call you a hoe or a bitch ass
Yeah.
nigga.
Yeah. Fuck nigga, bitch ass nigga.
Yeah,
Like if you say bitch but in a mean way, or
yeah,
hoe in a mean way, because you could say that in a loving way and
yeah,
they be fine with it. But if you
yeah,
say, bitch, get the fuck out of my house. Like, who you calling
yeah,
a bitch?
yeah.
And all that shit. If
Or
you
if you,
say,
yeah, or if you be like, look at this hoe ass nigga.
yep,
It's just
yep,
like, yeah,
suck my dick, of course, is instant
yes,
fight, no matter
that's
what.
yeah, that's probably the cunt word for
Yeah,
black
yeah,
folks.
for black, yeah, especially black men. You said tell
Yeah,
somebody to suck your dick, that you have to
you got to
fight.
fight.
Yeah.
Yes,
So yeah, just funny these culture differences, man. It's just
yeah, but I'm
funny to
like, I
analyze.
wonder what I wonder what the real meaning behind that because it seemed like people just turn red
Yeah, no,
and
they
they
get
just
that's
get
a trigger,
they just
man.
get uncomfortable. Where I'm like, what the fuck do that mean,
Yeah.
man?
I think it's just the fact that you don't hear it that
so,
much.
so I see
You
it.
know,
I looked it up in the Urban Dictionary, the word cunt, and I guess it's another word for vagina.
I knew that.
Yeah,
I
I
knew
ain't.
that. But like, if you call somebody a pussy,
Yeah,
it's not the same. But calling them a cunt suddenly is fighting words,
yeah.
which is
So
crazy.
my thing is, I wonder why they call women that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Tab, tell it, man. You a white guy, Tab.
Yeah,
Tell us what's up, man. He
Tab's
probably
got too
don't
much
even know.
soul, man. He might not
Yeah,
know
he
these
probably
things,
don't know
man.
why
He might
either.
not know either.
But yeah,
Tab got
I'm
too
like,
much soul. I don't think he knows about these things. But
yeah,
yeah,
like why do they? I wonder why is it like they call women that?
yeah,
Because we wouldn't call a woman a pussy.
yeah. True,
We call her a
true.
bitch, so or
Yeah,
hoe or something.
good point. Like, yeah, I don't know. I really don't know,
White
man.
people weird, man.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, we're all weird, dog. Like,
Yeah,
all this shit is weird. The fact that all these are just words, but some are just way more offensive than others for really
yeah,
no reason, but besides the meaning we give them.
yeah,
Like, even that concept is just weird, man. But it is what it
yeah,
is.
yeah. I don't
So,
know.
yeah. But it's
Yeah,
funny to think about the cultural
yeah.
differences.
Yeah, you want to piss a white person off, call them that.
Yeah, definitely. And also get banned from TV or get it bleeped out at least. So yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot. I don't even remember what led us
Yeah.
down this
We talking
path.
about Glorilla.
Oh yeah.
And by the way, it was not Brent Fires that was talking about Soldier Boy. It was Wiz Kid.
Oh
So
yeah.
Wiz
Oh
Kid back
yeah.
in 2010 said, "I swear Soldier Boy is whack." Jeez. And Soldier Boy retweeted that July 10th of 2022,
That's
saying, "Your
hilarious.
mama whack. Shut your bitch ass up."
That's hilarious.
I'm
I
like,
doubt
man,
does he even use Twitter anymore, Wiz Kid? That's
I don't even
wild.
know. I don't even
That's
know.
hilarious though.
It's
Come
funny
on,
how he
man.
just found that damn tweet.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure somebody like retweeted it and that's how he found it
It
because
just
people
went
do
viral.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
people will look up old tweets and then act like it's new by putting it back on the timeline. So yeah, it might have
yeah,
been that, but who knows,
yeah.
man. Anything else happened this week, man? Anything else? Oh yeah, you know talking about this fucking the dumbest controversy I've seen this
What?
side of Mississippi.
What was it?
The fucking this Doja Cat Stranger Things
Oh
dude
yeah,
bullshit.
yeah,
Like this shit was going on for like a week, man. People
yeah.
acting fake mad about it. So if you didn't hear, apparently Doja Cat hit up one of the Stranger Things actors. I
Hmm.
think his name was Noah. I think he was like 17 at the time.
Yeah,
And she hit him up asking for his co-workers
yeah. Co-star.
information, co-stars information from Stranger Things, a guy named Joseph.
Yeah,
I don't know who he plays. I haven't watched Stranger Things since like
uh,
season 1.
yeah. So, what is his damn real name? I forgot his real name, but his name is Joseph.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, she DM'd the guy, Noah. Is it Schnapp?
Yeah.
So she said, Noah, can you tell Joseph to hit me up? Wait, no, does he have a girlfriend? And I guess he told her to what's his name? Noah told her to slide in his DM and then direct her Joseph's account pretty much.
Yeah. And then
So
she said, I don't know his IG or Twitter. He doesn't have a DM to slide in. And
yeah,
then he just gave her the IG.
yeah.
But
So right after that, I guess Noah ended up posting the conversation
mm-hmm.
and it pissed off Doja Cat.
Yeah.
She actually did a I don't know if it was a Twitch or something
I
where
think it was
she
IG Live.
yeah she addressed it and you could tell she was trying not to be super mean about it because it
Mm-hmm.
was young. He was like 17, but yeah, she pretty much pissed. She felt like she mentioned how that was some snake shit that he put the DM out there like that. But yeah, I kind of want to get your opinion. Who do you think she had the right to be upset about this, or is she overreacting to this?
I think she had a right to be upset about it, but her reaction was kind of overblowing it. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it was not that big of a deal, honestly.
Yeah,
It's not like some really super sensitive thing got leaked. Unless she
yeah,
was cheating on somebody, then I can understand why she maybe be upset. But
yeah.
yeah, man. I mean, it don't sound like they was that close or friend. The fact that she's DMing him on IG, I think it was. Let me look at the caption.
I think it was IG.
Yeah, it looks like it was IG. So like, she's not even texting this dude. So it don't even seem like they're that close. So I don't
Yeah,
think he has an obligation to like keep your communication secret. Now he should have, but then again, he's a fucking kid, man. So he don't
yeah,
care about this shit. Like all I
yeah,
care about at 17 and younger is clout.
yeah,
Okay. He don't care about keeping Doja Cat as a friend long term.
yeah,
So yeah, I mean he was goofy for what he did, but she should have known better than to text a kid and ask for some information like that. So it's her fault,
yeah,
but he was still wrong for doing it. I'll
yeah,
say that much. But yeah,
yeah.
what else can you expect?
Yeah, I think he shouldn't have did it. Of course, I never did like showing nobody else my conversation with somebody,
Mm-hmm.
but Honestly, I don't understand why, unless she had a boyfriend or something like that, where she could have got caught up. To me, I thought she was a badass for trying to slide in somebody DM and was saying, "Hey, what's up with your friend?" Because do you still get girls doing that shit? I feel like that's a lost art. Where remember back in the day, like, "Hey, what's up with your friend?" type thing. So I kind of respected Doja Cat for doing that.
Mm-hmm.
For her, trying to shoot her shot and but couldn't because I guess the dude ain't had no DM, no thing where she could slide in the DM. But for the simple fact, she hit up the other co-worker, the other co-star was like, "Hey, like, what's up with old dude?" Like, wait, he got a girlfriend, and he was like, slide in his DM. Like, I like that, man, because like, I wonder how many celebrities like her actually do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of respect that. It kind of made me like Doja Cat a little more, even though I did like her. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I kind of respect the hustle a little bit for her trying to shoot her shot.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it happens, especially since she's older. I mean, older women always got to kind of shoot the shot at a younger dude,
Yeah.
especially when they kind of famous. So, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm sure this happens a lot. I think it happened with Kim Kardashian. She shot the shot at what's his name, Pete Davidson.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, she told the story. She was like, she invited him. I guess after Saturday Night Live, she invited him to a party. He ain't show up, and she wanted to know why. So she got his number from somebody, and she hit him up. So I'm like, yeah, that's the type of life I'm trying to live, man.
Yeah,
Like,
I
fucking
like that.
to be a completely unfunny comedian and have like a beautiful woman hit you up and want to fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Or
the type
pissed,
of life I'm trying to live, man.
or
So,
pissed you didn't come to the party.
right, because I'm not paying you no mind. Like, shit,
Yeah,
man. So I ain't mad at it, but
yeah,
and some people were mad, like, oh, she shouldn't have been DMing a 17-year-old for like what the fuck? The
yeah.
guy she was trying to get with is 26, okay?
Yes.
It's not like he's 17. I
Yeah,
don't see any problem with texting a 17-year-old for information on their older coworker.
yeah,
Like, who gives a fuck, man?
yeah. So she not supposed to go in his DM and say, "Hey, tell him to hit me up."
Yeah.
Like, what's so bad about that?
You can't. I get people act like if you're 30, you can't even talk to a minor.
Yeah,
Like anything can be called grooming at this point, man. And look, there's definitely creep shit that goes on that rightfully gets called out. But some of y'all taking it too far with this shit, man. Okay.
yeah,
Some of y'all calling a 34-year-old dating a 24-year-old grooming. Y'all shit like that is y'all sound ridiculous, man. Like
yeah,
people need to calm down off these super weird accusing people of
but
weird shit.
yeah. But then in the same breath, they be they be wanting a sugar daddy, an old ass
Yep.
sugar daddy.
Yep.
Like, what the fuck do you think that is?
Exactly. It's just weird, man. So people need to calm down with that bullshit. It's
Yeah,
getting annoying. Like after Me Too, once people realized they could take people down, I feel like they got drunk with power, and now they
yeah,
try to do it everybody. And like I said, some people deserve it. Some people like y'all making a mountain out of a less than a molehill here
yeah,
with some of this shit, man. So give it a rest, but they
yeah,
won't. So
yeah.
whatever.
Let her shoot her shot, man.
Exactly.
I respect it.
I ain't mad at it, but apparently they patched things up and they cool now.
Yeah.
So yeah, good for them.
I wonder did she get on with the other dude? did they
Yeah, I don't
did they
know.
talk?
I mean, after this, probably not, because I mean it's been blown up, so
Yeah,
they can't even sneaky link no more. So
yeah. Shit, I wouldn't even care, man. See, like I said, I respect Doja for doing that.
yeah, I ain't
Like,
mad at her.
shoot your shot. If you want somebody, go get them. Don't wait for them to come around.
Mm-hmm.
So you might miss your blessing.
Exactly.
I think it's
Exactly.
I think it's kind of a turn on when a girl try to shoot your shot a little bit, not like trying to bag you or something,
Yeah.
but a
When
little
they
thing.
send the first, hey, what up?
Yeah,
Or hey, like, yeah.
when they show that they're interested in you,
Yeah.
that's when it's like, okay, because it's already we always talk about on this podcast how it's tricky to try to get with somebody
Mm-hmm.
because you don't know if they like you and all this other stuff. But if the girl give you the green light, then
Mm-hmm.
it's like I handle the rest.
Yep.
So
The
Yeah,
hard
man.
part already over, man. The insecurity
Exactly.
gone now. So shit.
Yeah. If she said, "Hey, I've been trying to hit you up. I like you."
Mm-hmm.
Like, all right, then the rest
Yep.
is yours, man.
Yep.
That's
No,
all the
I
brother
agree.
need to know.
No, I agree 100%, man. I ain't mad at it.
Yep.
So it is with enough of that fake controversy, man. Hopefully people
Yeah.
get jobs and careers and can actually focus on real problems, but I doubt it.
Yeah. I've been watching that show too. I'm on season
You
4
like it?
finally. I think it's okay. I think we talked about this before. I, I After season 2, I was done with it. Like I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to see these kids no more. Like what the fuck else they gonna put in this show? Like they gonna put some more scary monsters and all this other bullshit in it. Like I was done with it, but I feel like social media bullied me into finishing.
Yeah. You fell into the trap, man.
Yeah, because it's like as soon as I tell somebody I only seen the first and second season, like, oh, you gotta watch the third and fourth. You like, oh my god, it's so good. It's so you gotta watch it. And I'm just like, man. And then people tweeting about it, talking about, oh my god, I can't believe that happened on Stranger Things. And I'm just like, man, you know what? Let me go watch this shit. So I was like binging it the whole week, and then now I'm on season 4 finally. But
Yeah.
yeah, I can't wait till this shit over. People be going overboard. This is borderline. This kind of borderline got a Game of Thrones type of feel to it when it comes to
See,
the
I can't.
fans and shit.
Yeah, but at least Game of Thrones was good for a while, man.
Yeah,
Like I would say for 4 years it was really good,
but
and
see
then
the
it kind of
way,
fell off.
the fans were acting though. They had like it was just,
Yeah, yeah,
oh
they were
yeah,
they were
Game of
hyping up the mid
Thrones.
seasons too. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's the problem.
it's just like, oh, you don't watch Game of Thrones. Oh my, they
Hmm.
act like you was like if you watch Game of Thrones or if you don't watch it, they like a fucking scientist and you're not.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just like, bitch, you ain't nobody because you watch Game of
hmm,
Thrones. You got like you
yeah.
just so fucking nerdy or some shit.
So sophisticated. You don't watch Game of Thrones?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's just like get your punk ass out of here.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's how some of these fans be acting with Stranger Things. Like, oh, you got like they just so much of a hipster or some shit.
Yeah. Dog, I don't give a fuck what people, because I've learned now that most of these shows people hype up are mid. The last time I got swept up in some shit people were talking about was Squid Game, and that shit was mid, dog.
Oh, did you
Like,
watch it? We ain't
yeah, I
never talk
watched it.
about it. Did we
I
talk
think
about it?
I think we did talk about it.
Really? Okay.
We might have watched it different times. I watched it when it came out, pretty much, and dog, it was like it was okay. It definitely did not deserve to be like the biggest show ever rating. Like, come on, man. Like, I'll
Yeah.
admit, I think the director's story is inspiring. I thought it was cool. Like, I like Korean films. I like foreign films. I'm glad that they got famous off this shit. I'm glad they got paid off this shit. I'm glad a foreign film did
Yeah.
numbers in America because that
Yeah.
means we could get more dope foreign films over here. I'm
Yeah.
cool with all that. The show itself wasn't that good, dog. It wasn't that good. And now they're doing like
Yeah.
an American version of it. They doing like a real life version of it. They doing a season 2 of it. I'm like,
Yeah, they about to run into the ground.
it's already been run to the ground, man. I feel like it's gonna win probably every award at the Emmys, and they're gonna act like they're so progressive for giving Korean people who used to be broke Emmy
Yeah.
award, and it's gonna be a fucking, you know how Hollywood is, man.
Yeah. Gonna be a
So
feel good story.
yes, exactly. So yeah, but that show was overhyped to the fucking moon, man. It was
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Like the only thing that was kind of shocking with that show because I had no idea what was gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
And because Squid Game, when you say Squid Games, I thought it was like a game show.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like, all right, what the fuck is this? And then, at the beginning when all the shit happened, it's like, oh shit. But I got invested in it because I wanted to see how it ends. But after what, like, I don't want to see a season 2. Like, why do I want to see a season 2? And especially if they're gonna do similar shit.
Mm-hmm.
If they're gonna go through a whole nother game reality type bullshit, like I don't want to see that again. And that'd be my problem with certain shows like that because it was another show, another foreign show, where I forgot the name of it. It's on Netflix too, where they was robbing it wasn't a bank, but they was robbing something. and it was this smart ass teacher from wherever he was, Russia or some shit, and he pretty much taught these students how to rob something. And it was they spent the whole fucking season inside of this building trying to get something. I forgot what it was. But after that, they ended up getting away, and it's like, all right, like that's the end of it. But then they got like 3 or 4 more seasons. It's just like, I'm like, man, I ended up starting season 2, just the first episode, and they ended up doing the same shit somewhere in a different location. It's just like, man, nobody give a fuck. Ain't about to keep going through this shit.
Yeah, it's like Prison Break. At the end of season 1, they got out the prison, and then they went back into prison to break out the prison again. Like, what the fuck? Come on, man. You can only do these ideas one time for it to hit. So
I forgot the name of that damn show, but yeah, man, I'm just tired of that shit, man.
Yeah, no, I agree. So yeah, after Squid Game, I'm like, I don't give a fuck if anybody says this show is the greatest show ever made. I'm like, that means nothing to me, man. At this point, like if people whose opinion I trust say no, this show is really good, and I'll check it out. Like if you tell me a show is really good, I'll check it out. But I'm not gonna go off of the masses on Twitter hyping up. Like I was trying to watch The Boys this last season, and it was just too much, man. It's not. It was too much, man. It was too much weird shit going on in that show, man. I really can't fuck with it. I don't think it's nearly as good as what people are hyping up to be, but that's just me. So
yeah. Oh, and the name of that show, I think it was called The Heist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just everybody made it show to be out something crazy.
Yeah,
and it was just like, man, like, all right.
Like, one thing I've learned, people just want a shared experience, and they'll make one out of almost anything, whether it's reacting to something on Twitter or watching a show and talking about watching the latest Marvel movie. That's really the biggest strength of Marvel movies, is that people go see it out of obligation to talk about on social media.
Yeah.
You know, people just want things to have a shared experience about, and they don't care if it's good or not.
Yeah.
Like, as long as it's good enough to talk about on the internet, that's all they care about.
People
don't want to feel left out. That's the main thing that drives people to go see this shit and watch this shit. They don't want to feel left out on the conversation.
That's exactly why everybody went to go see Black Panther.
Exactly.
And by the way, that's coming out this year, I want to say.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I kind of don't want to see it, but
it's gonna be trash, man. Like,
yeah,
Daniel Kaluuya's not in it. They already confirmed that.
Who's not in it?
Daniel Kaluuya.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah. They already confirmed he's not in it. He was doing the Jordan Peele movie at the time they were filming. So,
okay, that makes sense.
He's not gonna be in it. That movie's not gonna be good, man. It's just Marvel done fell off, but that's a whole other podcast we could talk about with the film guru.
Yeah. Did you see? You ain't see Thor, did you?
I didn't see, dog. I've heard nothing but bad things about Thor.
Me too, man.
Everybody's saying that shit's ass.
Me too. I ain't see it yet. Me and the wifey supposed to go see it, but now I'm like, oh man, I know I'm gonna be disappointed now.
Yeah. Especially since the last one was pretty good, man. The last one, the Thor movie was pretty good. That Ragnarok. Yeah. But everybody who liked that one said this one was mid at best. So,
yeah, a lot of Thor movie. I mean, Thor probably had the best movies, to be honest.
Oh no, he does not. Thor 1 and 2 were kind of whack, man. Thor 1 was boring to me. It got better in the second half, but Thor 1 was boring. I thought Iron Man probably had the best one. Actually, I don't know. Iron Man 2 was whack. I don't know who got the best movie.
Yeah, I'm talking about like as a recent kind of recent. As a reason,
I would say like Spider-Man probably had the best movies, man.
Really? Okay.
I probably like those the best, even though they weren't all that great. They were okay. So
yeah. I feel like people kind of put Thor up there.
Yeah,
more than like any other movie.
Could be. I don't know.
But yeah, I'm gonna still go see it. But
yeah, you got to review it for the podcast, man. Take the bullet for the team.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, man. I think that about wraps things up for this edition. I don't think we got anything else to talk about, react to. We'll go ahead and close the stream out first, of course. Thank y'all for listening. Thank you, Tab, for joining in the conversation. Remember, y'all, we stream live pretty much every Friday around 8:30 or so. So yeah, come in, kick it with us. YouTube and Twitch, Gems and Juice. And yeah, subscribe, like, follow, share, etc., etc., etc. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. And next
Peace.
time.